Okay, so the last time I left off, we were talking about submitting homework. So just to recap that very briefly. So when you're ready, and if you choose to just do the work by hand, that's perfectly fine. Make sure, by the way, if you scan it in or you take a picture, that I can read that stuff. So once you've submitted it, you can go back and look at whatever you submitted. And by the way, you can submit stuff for the homeworks as many times as you like. So that's perfectly acceptable. All right. Anyhow, what I was talking about is, let's say you did this by hand on a piece of paper, then took a picture of it, with making a JPEG file or a PDF file. Then you just come under here, say browse my computer, and you would choose that file. For example, it would be something .pdf or something like that. All right, so enough of that. All right, the next thing I think I'm going to talk about is the syllabus. So let's go over here. So remember, this is the content area, which is collapsible. You can go right here. I guess they call it the course menu as well. So you can collapse it. If it's collapsed, you can make it appear. All right. So anyhow, here is the syllabus and the schedule. The syllabus actually has the schedule on it. Here's my office hours again. So this is I'm in Sims 213A. That's my office. It's second floor of Sims. And I'll be in there during these hours, and of course I have my astronomy class right at 6:30. So, and I'm usually in my office before this 5:30, just to get everything prepared. All right, so here's the syllabus. Here's the schedule. As I said, the schedule is actually on the syllabus as well. I don't know why I created two files, but I did. I've already have them open, so let me go to those. Let's see. So all right, here they are. So let's start with the I guess this is the schedule. Okay, so here's the schedule. Notice each homework is always due a minute before midnight on Sunday of that particular week. So, like for example, the first week, it's homeworks 1 and 2. All right, so this is the schedule. Notice, of course, each week that we have a chapter challenge. So there's the next week, week 2, and there's the next chapter challenge, and then there's the next two homeworks 3 and 4. All right, so after homework 3 and 4, after homework 4, in fact, and after that, I will be showing you, as I showed you before on Blackboard, you'll be able to see the solutions to homeworks 3, 4, 1 and 2 as well. All right, because then we're going to have a test. The week 3 we'll have a test, and that test will be due on Sunday, the 24th. And you also have, it looks like homework 5 also is due, just because it's the summer. We gotta get all the material in. So there will be a homework, but that homework 5 will be on the next material, which is chapter 6. It turns out. So, all right. Anyhow, moving on. The following week we continue chapter 6, chapter 7. And we get into chapter 8 as well. So that's what these next homeworks are for. Okay, I'm not going to read the whole thing. And of course there's a new chapter challenge. All right. Then we have the week of July 2nd. All right. Notice we have an essay due that week. So that's the first of 2 essays. I'll talk about that a little bit more shortly. Then after we get done with chapter 8, there's a test 2, which will cover chapters 6, 7, and 8, and then chapters 9, 10, and 13 are part of test 3. All right, so that's all this material, and of course the chapter challenges. Remember, the chapter challenges are not material that's on the tests. Okay, and we're getting towards the end of the Summer B session, and so we'll have test 3. I guess that's due the 29th of July, and then we get into the last week. We'll have our last chapter challenge, and then the final exam, and also essay 2. Okay, so there's 2 essays. Like I said, I'll talk more about that. So the final exam, you'll have more than just one day to do it, but the final exam will be due on the 2nd, the Thursday, which is the last day of class, or the end of the semester. All right, yeah. So that's the schedule. All right, and here is the syllabus. Let's go over that in detail. So this is, of course, here, let me go to the top of it. So this is our official syllabus. There's me again, and I go by TJ, by the way. So TJ is perfectly fine if you ever talk to me or come to my office hours. Professor Lipinski, if you really want to be formal, but I'm not very formal. Anyhow, all right, so it's a 4-unit class. Remember that one unit is picked up by, normally classes are 3 units, but you get the 4th one for doing the chapter challenges. All right, so there's the textbook. There's some goals. So make sure you read this stuff. The stuff in yellow is what's covered by the chapter challenges. All right, so the first test is these 3, chapters 2, 3, and 4. The second test, 6, 7, and 8. And then the last test is 9, 10, and 13. Remember, the tests and the final exam do not include the stuff in yellow here, the chapter challenges. Those are on they're on their own. So we're going to do stuff about space, doing stuff about some astronomy, some weather stuff as well. All right. Make sure you have a scientific. Oh, I guess you're not bringing it to class because you're not coming to class. But you want to make sure you have yourself a scientific calculator, one that does the exponential function. All right. So there's 2 writing components. I'll show you how to where to submit that. It's under essay in the content area. All right, so this is just showing you how everything is broken down. Yeah, so there's the homework assignments. So again, the homework, just make sure you do it. Most of you will probably get perfect scores on the homework. So I'll take off a few points here and there. But make sure that you do that, because the tests are based on the homework. So you got to know how to do the homework. And you can turn in homework late. You have 1 week to turn it in, unless there's circumstances by which let's say, heaven forbid, you're in the hospital or something like that. Of course, you would let me know, or you would contact the dean of students, and the dean of students would let me know. But barring that or other unforeseen circumstances, you have one week to turn in any late work. Okay, and generally what I do with late work is I give half the credit. So let's say, for example, if the first homework assignment was worth 30 points, the maximum you would get once you turn it in within 1 week after the due date, that would be worth 15 points, of course. All right, so it all says that in here. All right, so this is how everything is broken down. Each test is worth 15%. The overall homework, I think there are 14 homework assignments. That's worth 10% of your total grade. The 2 writing essays are worth 5% of your total grade. The final exam, 15%. But notice, really importantly, the thing that's worth the most is the chapter challenge, 25%. Okay, and that's how your grade has to be calculated. Okay, so I'll calculate that grade at the end, and then numerically, if it falls within, between 92 and 100, that's an A, and so forth. All right. So notice there's no C minus, and just decided not to have a C minus or a D minus. All right, so yeah, and the rest of this, just make sure you read over this. It's, some of the stuff is not stuff that I wrote. It was stuff that was put in by other people, or I was told to put that stuff on there on the syllabus. So there's a lot of things, and then if you keep scrolling, you have our schedule again. Okay, so that's part of the syllabus. That's just on the syllabus. All right, so I guess I can close that. Yeah, let's close that too. All right, so getting back. Let's talk about the essays. Let's see, how much time do I have? All right, so I'll quickly do that. So the essays are over here. You just click on essay, and I think I have the right dates. Yes, okay. So there's the first one. It's due on July 5th, and then the second one is due, the last day of class, August 2nd. Okay, and so, and as everything, it's always due a minute before midnight. So let's say, for example, here's the first one. So you click here. So the topics are given to you. I think that I give you two possible things to write about. One is, if I remember correctly, it's renewable energy, and the other one is Charles Towns, who was a physicist from South Carolina, who passed away a few years ago. He was actually a Nobel Prize winner. Anyhow, just read the instructions. And so when you're ready, you're going to submit that right here. Okay, so you just do it the same way you do the homework. You click here, and scroll up a little bit, and then go into the browser, and you'll have it, for example, on your desktop or something like that. Make sure you do it in a Word document, because this is this submission, unlike the homeworks, this is kind of like Turnitin. If you've had done Turnitin stuff before, where when you submit this, it'll go into the internet and make sure that there's no copied material. And so what I say in this thing, in the essays, is I'll give you basically free 25% matching. So you can have up to, and including up to 25% matching. Generally, people, if you've written your own essay and you didn't just simply copy it, you'll have a lot less than 25%. So that's generally not a big problem. And so you'll submit that. Make sure you click submit. And one thing to note is it takes a little while for Blackboard to give you a percent matching. It doesn't come up automatically because it has to go out and search the internet. But within a day or two, generally, my students have told me in the past, it generally takes about a day or two, and it'll tell you what that percent matching is. Again, just like everything else, you can do this multiple times. Submit the essay multiple times before the due date, of course, and that way you can get that percent matching down below 25%, or 25% or below. All right, I'm running out of time. Let me go to the next video. I'll pick this up on the next video.